into a lot of things. Kind of the umbrella, I guess, for me is just our lack of execution in a lot of different situations. Things that I know that we've talked about, we've worked on, and we've got to be more focused in the course of the game, and we've got to communicate to one another in order to do those things. It wasn't just one or two things. It was a number of things, and still we put ourselves in a position where we have a chance to win. I was obviously happy with the way we battled back in the fourth quarter, but we made too many mistakes relative to execution on the game plan, contesting a shot. I thought we started doing when we did some of those things. We saw some success. And just as I said, it's a question of doing them all the time.
Coach, the things you just talked about, negativities, are you seeing that showing up in practice?
Negativity, I'm sorry.
The communicating, et cetera,
Yeah.
not doing. Are you seeing that in practice too?
No, we've had, I think just keeping that in the front of our minds. When we're playing and competing, of course, you're going to have some breakdowns, but you can't have as many. You have to limit them, and it's not something that we don't know is important or believe in. It's just a question of execution, and that's got to get better. But as far as practice and things, we've been talking and working, and you're seeing different things than we can simulate in practice. When we play an opponent, you can't simulate all that. So it's got to improve.
You talked about some of the contesting of shots with Jalen Brunson and some of those closeouts. Just how do you guys continue to get better and avoid situations like that moving forward?
Well, there's some, when you're in help situations, the guys are going to get some looks, but when we're guarding the ball, we have our hands down. Just simple things like that where we have to have the discipline to. And there were times during there were stretches when we started doing it, and it was helpful. They'll still make some of them, but you have to do everything you can to make that shot hard. And I think our guys are aware of that, and it's not something that they're not, as I said, aware of. Know that we need to change and want to. That again, execution is a funny thing. So you're not always able to do it. The other team sometimes makes it hard, but it has to be. Again, it has to be in the front of your mind, and you have to be focused on doing it.
Coach, how do you feel about your rotation so far in these first two games? You feel like that they're dealing together, or seeing some positive things from them?
Oh yeah, I think I've said this. I don't know that our rotation has kind of jumped out as we've played different. The rotation's been different both nights. Brought Jalen back to get a matchup on Randall for a little bit. The other night, Hunt was in foul trouble. We put Hunt on Brunson. He was in foul trouble early, so we couldn't make that cross match. But our guys, as far as them playing together and gelling, as you said, I think that's happening. We just need to execute, and that's not a question of rotations. That's everybody.
You bring up execution, Coach.
Yeah.
I think you led 6-5, that was your only lead, but you never seemed to be able to get over the hump. It was like 10, then it was down to 3, 1.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe it's different if you get that big basket and get out in front?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I feel like you have to execute no matter what the score is. If you get that big basket to get momentum, maybe, but I feel like it's something. If we turn it into that, if someone hits a couple shots and you're behind, you hit a couple, you're ahead, I think your execution has to transcend all those things, regardless of the score.
Coach, you shot 32 3-pointers tonight. Is that where you want to be? Do you feel like they should have shot more?
I think we passed some up. We passed some up, and we've got to take them. Because generally what happens against a good defensive team that's really shifted, you pass it up, and then you're trying to create a shot for yourself when we've already created you a shot. We just got to keep pounding that and keep doing it. And, you know, we also had some really good situations where, you know, you don't have to shoot it every time. You have to make a quick decision. You know, I think DJ had a number of situations where he shot some, and then he had great quick moves, where he read before the catch and got on the rim. So, but again, we can't pass him up. I'd have to see the tape, but it felt like we had some more.
Although it was just one game, how would you assess where your offense stands and any progression you've seen since playing at Charlotte?
Well, that's been 2 days ago. So, I thought we were better tonight. We were more organized with some of the stuff we were doing. We shot the ball better. Still didn't shoot it great. We played a team that shot it really well. So we've had kind of like to be on the other end of that. But that's why I was talking about execution. I think that regardless of how you shoot or what the score is, or whether you're at home or on the road, or everybody that's in the game wearing the Hawks uniform, has to really stay focused on that. We have to block out the shooter, things like that. That's probably the most obvious thing, right? We know how to do that.
How do you feel like the team can best learn from the missed opportunities in the game today?
A lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, I think just find the areas where, I think guys have an idea on certain things that they're feeling. We got a team that really cares and are competitive, and we just need to keep focusing on the things that we need to do, to have success. And I think it's true of every game, not just we'll be doing this the whole season and finding things against every team that when we go to try to hit Randall, we can't let him split us. So all those little things I think we're trying to do the right thing. We just need to get better at doing those things.
Coach, you left DeAndre Hunter out there. He picked up 2 quick fouls in the first quarter, but you had enough faith in him to keep him in the game. Can you talk about how you believe in your players to leave them out there to be able to do the right thing and how that's growing or progressing?
Mm-hmm. I think, there's a general rule. Different people have different philosophies. I don't, NBA game, 6 fouls, whether it's 2 early in the first quarter or maybe 3 late in the second. I feel like you let guys play and they adjust a little bit. And that's not always the case. Like I said before, we had him out there, but you can adjust the matchup to help him have success. But I felt like he was locked in and really competing, and I wanted to keep him in his rhythm and leave him in the game.
I wish I played for you in college.
I'm not sure. I'm going to practice.
Thanks, Coach.